Good morning. Today we are going to conclude the topic of bailment. In the previous few lectures, we have seen the definition of bailment, the essentials of bailment, and the rights and duties of bailor and bailee. Okay, section 148 to section 171 deal with bailment. While discussion, what we have done, we have gone topic wise. We have subject matter wise, like rights and duties of bailor, rights and duties of bailee, like that we have seen. We have not seen section wise the topic. Okay, section 148 to 171 deal with the topic of bailment. Section 148 defines bailment, bailor and bailee, and thereafter till section 171 the provisions of bailment are there, which we have already discussed, and the rights and duties of bailor and bailee are also discussed section wise. Like section 158 states repayment by bailor of necessary expenses. 159 states restoration of goods lent which are gratuitously. 160 says return of goods bailed on expiration of time or accomplishment. Means these concepts we have seen. The only thing is we have not seen it section wise. Okay. Now section 168 and 169 we are going to see. Why? Because that is a different topic called as a finder of goods. Previously also the concept of finder of goods we have seen, because it is one of the type of quasi contract. Section 171 of the Indian Contract Act states about a type of a quasi contract, and that is finder of goods. See section 71, what it states: responsibility of finder of goods. A person who finds goods belonging to another and takes them into his custody is subject to the same responsibility as a bailee. Just they have mentioned in section 71 that a bailment comes into existence, the finder of goods becomes a bailee under quasi contract. What is quasi contract? Similar to contract, rights and duties have been created by operation of law. Quasi contract depends upon the principle called as unjust enrichment. Law will not allow to enrich a person unjustly at the expenses of the other. Okay, so finder of goods becomes bailee, that is mentioned in section 71. Now we'll come to the topic bailment, which states that when a finder of goods is there, as already stated, a bailment comes into existence, he becomes a bailee. Now he will have some rights and duties. Okay. Now section 168, we'll see these two sections first. Section 168 states the finder of goods has no right to sue the owner for a compensation for trouble and expense voluntarily incurred by him to preserve the goods and to find out the owner. But he may retain the goods against the owner until he receives that compensation. Means he can't sue for the compensation because he himself has done it. What law says, when you see something which is not yours, you are not bound to pick it up. Once you pick it up, you become bailee. So you are not having a right to sue for the expenses which you have done, the trouble which you have taken. You are not having a right to sue for that. Okay, to that concerned owner. You can't get that directly, that compensation. But until he gives the money, you can retain. Means you are not having a right to sue. See, it is clearly mentioned here. The finder of goods has no right to sue the owner for compensation for trouble and expense voluntarily incurred by him to preserve the goods and to find out the owner. But he may retain the goods, means he is having right to lien. He may retain the goods against the owner until he receives such compensation. And where the owner has offered a specific reward for the return of goods lost, the finder may sue for such reward and may retain the goods until he receives it. So section 168 is telling the finder of goods, being a bailee as per section 71, is not having a right to sue the owner for getting compensation. But till he gets the compensation, he is having right to retain, right to lien. And if some reward is been declared, then he is having a right to get that reward. He is having a right to retain the goods until he receives it. Okay, this is mentioned in 168. Now 169 states that when finder of thing commonly on sale may sell it, means when the finder of goods can sell those goods. When a thing which is commonly the subject of sale is lost, if the owner cannot with due diligence be found, or if he refuses upon demand to pay the lawful charges to the finder may sell it. So he can sell it when the owner cannot be found. He can sell it when the owner is not giving the lawful charges. He can sell it. Okay. When the thing is in danger of perishing also, he can sell it. When the thing is in danger of perishing or of losing the greater part of value, or second is what? When the lawful charges of the finder in respect of thing found amount to 2/3 of the value, then also he is having right to sell. Okay, this is mentioned in section 168 and 169. Okay, now we saw these sections. Now we'll see the concept. Who is a finder of goods? Finder of goods means a person who picks the thing which is not his. He knows that somebody is the owner of that, and he does not know who is the owner, and he picks it up. Once he picks up, he becomes a bailee. Now being a bailee, he is having certain rights. Now what right he has? He is having right to retain the goods till the expenses are being paid to him, till the compensation is being paid to him, and if there is a reward, then he is having a right to get that reward also. So he is having right to lien, he is having a right to reward, and he is having right to sale also. But when he can sell in 4 circumstances. The first is if the owner cannot be found, reasonable diligence, the owner cannot be found. Second is if the owner is found but he is not giving the lawful charges to the finder, that at that time also the finder of goods can sell. Third is if the goods are in danger of perishing. Okay. The fourth is if the lawful charges which the finder has made, they amount to the 2/3 of the value of the goods, then also the finder of goods can sell those goods. These are the right of finder of goods. Okay. Now what are his duties? What are his obligation? Once he picks the goods, he becomes a bailee. He is having certain duties. What duty he has? He must take reasonable care of the goods as if he is the owner. Okay. He must not use the goods, or he should not mix the goods with his own goods. Okay. He must not use the goods for his own purpose. He must not mix the goods with his own goods, and he must try to find out the owner. And if the owner is found, then he will ask the charges. If the charges are not paid, then we have seen he is having a right to sell it. Okay. Now this is the position of finder of goods in law. He is a bailee, and therefore he is having certain rights and duties. Okay. Now we will see the last concept, that is termination of bailment. Means when bailment comes to an end. If a bailment has been created for few hours, for few period, by the expiry of the time, the bailment will come to an end. On expiry of period of time, the bailment is terminated. Second is by achievement of object. Means if for some purpose, for some object, the bailment is being created, then after fulfillment of the object, the bailment comes to an end. Okay, now this is the second. The third is when the goods are with the bailee has certain duties. He has to take care as if they are his goods and all. Okay, but he should not make inconsistent use of the goods. Whatever the terms and conditions of the contract of bailment are, he has to follow it. Now if he makes inconsistent use of the goods, the bailment gets terminated. The fourth is destruction of the subject matter. A bailment is terminated when the subject matter of the bailment is destroyed, or by reason of a change in its nature becomes incapable of use for the purpose for which the bailment is being created. Okay. So by this destruction of goods also, the subject matter, the bailment gets terminated. Gratuitous bailment. The fifth is what? Gratuitous bailment can come to an end at any time. It is gratuitous. We have seen in the previous lecture itself. Gratuitous means no amount is to be paid. Okay. The bailiff has given the goods to the bailee gratuitously. Just use it. I think I take an example like I have lent my book to you for the exam, for some period or for exam purpose. Before the exam also I can take it back because it is just gratuitous. So gratuitous bailment can be terminated at any time. And the last is what? Death of the bailer or bailee. A gratuitous bailment is terminated by the death of either of the bailer or of the bailee. There are 6 different circumstances where bailment comes to an end. One is on the expiry of the period. Second is on the achievement of the object. Third is inconsistent use of the goods. Fourth is destruction of the subject matter. Fifth is gratuitous bailment. And sixth is by the death of the bailer, by the death of the bailer or bailee in case of gratuitous bailment. Okay, bye bye. See you in the next video.